Brodes Media.
The Mets are schmucks. This is why I was so pissed when you went to Queens and you just bent over, okay? Because the Mets fucking suck. And you're seeing that now. I'm also going to appreciate the hell out of the effort I got from this beaten up team. Because this squad right now, the Phillies, that is, they're dealing with so many injuries. They're dealing with so much damage going to their lineup and to their pitching staff, and they're rising to the occasion. We just played a game where you had Harrison Bader lead off. By the way, he had 3 hits. By the way, him and Otto Kemp, Otto freaking Kemp, go back to back. See what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Stott had a couple of hits, beating out infield singles, moving his legs, taking over what Trey Turner does. Ranger, 12 Ks, career high. He allowed 1 hit. Ran into a lot of deep counts. But my man was electric. And of course, to top it all off, because everybody loves top, a 50 bomb. Schwarber, finally. We've been waiting. We've been begging. We needed this dry streak to end. 4 homers against Atlanta. It's sweet, but I can't live off that forever. I need more adrenaline. I need something new. And he fucking piss-missiled that bitch out to center field. Hallelujah. You figured the Bishop Eustace kid was going to get rocked. Gloucester Catholic here. You know what I'm saying? Got to represent Gloucester Catholic. Big rivals. Shove it. You know, I can't stand seeing, by the way, totally a side little thought here, but Alvarez's face pisses me off. I just don't like looking at him. He bothers me. He annoys me. His facial expressions, I'd hit him with a 1-2. But anyway, I digress. What a baseball game. What a baseball team right now. I thought Sean Manaea, if you go back to last year's playoffs, and I'm not sure if all of you remember, but the broadcast wouldn't shut up about his arm slot. And look at his arm slot and the change in the arm slot. And that's why he's so successful, because his arm slot. Shove his arm slot up your ass. I didn't want to hear it. So many people making excuses. Well, the Phillies can't hit because of his arm slot. Shut up. What would happen to his arm slot? That's why I'm so angry. Last year in the NLDS, it's why I get so mad when they lose to them in Queens. They're not good. They blow. They are awful. That looks like a team that's given up. All right, I guess we'll show up to the playoffs, but it's going to be rough. We can't compete. That's what they look like. They're rolling over and dying. You can't get embarrassed by those type of squads a few weeks back. But it's a new day, bro. Shut up. You're right. You're right. I'm just trying to put it in perspective on why I was so beat up, why it impacted me so harshly. Because I know deep down that that is the biggest group of frauds in mankind. And you let them do dirty, dirty things to you. But now you got a chance, and the truth is, this chance, this 4-game set at home, I was thinking that there would be more juice behind it, but with all the injuries and how depleted the Phillies are and the current state of the Mets crumbling, their fans don't even care anymore. You could see it online. Put me out of my misery. Oh, wait, now I have to go watch the Jets, who are going to lose too. Oh, the Giants, they suck as well. They have nowhere to turn to, but they're already looking to get Mets baseball out of their minds. They can't stand it. They don't want to consume it. They need to get away from it. So that lost the enamor of what could have been. Right? The bickering back and forth, the you suck, you're a piece of shit, trash talking between both fan bases. I thought maybe they'd be closer. I thought maybe there'd be, some sort of competitive fire to some level, even though I didn't think the Mets were very good. I just thought this year it was going to be the tracks were aligning for it to come down to the wire. Whether it should or shouldn't, that's what I expected. Whether both teams were great, both teams were weirdly having seasons, both teams were where they should be, however it was going to go, I didn't expect this level of separation. But this is where we are. And it would have been fun. It would have been crazy. It would have been intense. But I'll take an easy breeze and, putting up 9 runs and watching the bottom of the order, pass it off to the top of the order, just keep pouring on runs late when the game was essentially wrapped up. Why not put a few more across home plate? By the way, how come every time I start becoming a fan of a certain player, things go bad? How long have I been saying I'm a Banksy guy now, right? Not very long. But you go, I want Banksy in the game. I even said yesterday, I prefer there to be men on base just to get Banksy in there to get out of the gym, just for fun. You get hit 3 times. Oh, come on, Banksy. Hey, finally love Trey Turner. 29 minutes later, grade 1 strain in his hamstring. I mean, this is unbelievable. I hate everyone. How about that? Everyone is a piece of crap. Everyone I despise. I hate them all. I think that's the way I got to move forward, because once I start opening up my heart, that's when bad things happen. Harrison Bader. I just can't believe this is where we are with Harrison Bader. When I saw the lineup, I thought, well, that was fun. That was fun. To put that at the top like that. Let's go, baby. I'm all for Bryce getting the most at-bats. He had a couple of hits, a couple of line drives that were roped to right field. The first one was a pretty intense hop there to Juan Soto, who trapped it in his glove and threw it in. So a couple of times on base there. I'm just waiting for the magic. I'm hoping the magic eventually hits. But speaking of magic, I think there's magic in pissed off Nick Castellanos. The first inning, this guy steps up to the plate and rocks a 2 RBI hit. You get a nice, comfortable lead. You allow Ranger Suarez to take the mound again, this time with some wiggle room, just because you're up a couple. He didn't need it. He didn't need it. He doesn't need fucking room. But just in case, here you go. You can take the mound now, a couple deep breaths. Don't worry about it. Just attack. Do your thing. A little strange to see the deep counts with only 1 hit. You look at the pitch count, you realize, well, hold on a second. This guy's even allowed a hit yet. And then he eventually did. I said, damn. Of course, because whenever I think things, it was so early in the game, but it was just popping into my head. I went, huh? And then I went, oh, God, I suck. I'm just a terrible person. What was I saying? Oh, Nicky, 2 bags. I'm all in on the magical, I'm pissed off Nick Castellanos, because I think that's the driving force. I think that gives us something that we need out of Nick, the fire, the energy. Now, he was taking some damn hacks. I could have sworn he broke his back 6 different times. Not back with the T, back with the CK, all right? Because the way the torque on his body, it looked like he was trying to hit one 580 feet a few times. But I'll tell you what, that 2 RBI knock there in the beginning to set the tone. You're going to keep me out of the lineup, bitch? Yo, motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'm amped up. It was a fun game. It was a fun game. Here I am walking on the treadmill with the weight vest, 8 incline, 3.5 speed. I'm sweating. I'm pouring water on my face, and I'm watching this game. I'm hearing Tom McCarthy on the call. I'm just battling. I was going to curse again, but I'm like, I cursed enough. But I'm battling out there. The fellas are battling with me. And I'm like, this is great. This is amazing. So, if you care. Hey, Kyle! Just want to make sure I give you my round of applause, my friend. 50. I got to imagine he's been staring at the ceiling at night, thinking, when am I going to get it? When will it be my time? I've been sitting at 49. I want to throw up every day. Get me to 50. Have me and Ryan Howard popping off on all the damn graphics. And now let's see if I can take down the big piece. that side that I just did, I got to imagine Kyle now can just settle back in. 50's a big deal. Now it's time to just get back into Kyle Schwarber cruise control instead of whatever you want to call that funk and that stretch that he just went on. You know what we should all do together? We should enjoy an Emilio cigar together to say thank you to Kyle Schwarber. If you are a cigar smoker, you do not want to miss out on this opportunity to get the best cigars to ever touch your lips. It is the only cigar to smoke. There's old school roots, new school attitude, locally owned, third generation, made at the Fábrica Oveja Negra in Nicaragua. And if you go to the link down below in the description, you can see all the options available for you, and you get 10% off your purchase with promo code BRODES10. When I tell you, loved ones, family members, friends, I've given out Emilio cigars, it's all they ask for now. I get calls. I get texts. Brodes, I love you. Don't care to see you. I care to see the Emilio cigars. I said, I know. Trust me. I understand completely. You're not hurting my feelings at all. But just to tell you and emphasize the greatness of these cigars, that's how amazing they are. So do not be a fool. Do me a favor. If you are a cigar smoker, check them out. Your life will be changed forever. You will never be trying any other cigar again because they are the only cigar to smoke. Emilio Cigars. Make sure you join the family today. All right, we have so many time. Hotline calls. Do I have any more points I want to bring up here? Otto Kemp, happy birthday, Otto Kemp. Huh? Kempy? I guess the one thing to point out was the Otto Kemp homer could have been a 2-run blast, but Stock got picked off and caught stealing there. The base running mistakes have definitely still continued. And I believe it was Kemp as well, that took off for second, and it was just a horrible throw by Hate to Face Alvarez. It was to the wrong side of the bag. It bounced 8 feet in front of second base, and it was just a horrible throw. But I think anybody that is skilled would have thrown him out there, and it's just common right now. They're in this weird space. And I like aggression. Trust me. If you want to apply pressure on teams and you want to force them to make perfect throws and you want to create havoc on the base paths, I got no issue with that thought process, that identity. And truth be told, I actually like it with guys like Stott and guys like Turner, guys that have that speed. That's their skill set. That's what they provide. That's part of their spark. Let's go ahead and have it. But as of late, it's definitely cost them getting JT picked off at first. It's uncomfortable lately. So I'm sure no one really cares about that at all on a day like this. But it's happening every night now, and I'd imagine they clean it up. They have to, right? They have to. They physically have to, because you can't give. Because the other night it was the young stud that the Mets called up, and he wasn't as sharp as he was when we faced them in Queens. But Crucky was saying this all throughout the broadcast. When you have guys like this and they're not performing at their best, the last thing you can do is give them free outs, because they got to work, right? They got to grind. They got to get through this tough spot, and you're making it easier for them. Force them to have to throw more pitches. Force them to have to find it. Force them to try so hard they miss their location. They leave it over the heart of the plate, and now Kyle can send it to Mars. Instead, you're giving them essentially an out. Like physically, yeah, an out, but I'm saying you're giving them an out. You know that phrase, you're giving them an out, not actually an out. Baseball, you're giving them an out. But maybe they're 25 pitches deeper into their pitch count if they still have to muck through an inning. So, that's the one nitpick. Forgive me. I'm allowed one per show, according to me. Let's go to the phone, shall we?
Brodes. Ranger looking like he is in prime October Ranger form. Bryson Stott heating up. I'm starting to believe in the Philadelphia Phillies. There's no way this could backfire on me, right? Lord, I hope not. Go Phils. And go Birds.
Go Birds is correct. Can this backfire? Of course it can backfire, dude. Of course it can backfire. But, I get it. this is what we do. This is what we sign up for. And if you hid from, like, okay, I'll put it to you this way. If we're going to bitch, rightfully, if we're going to cry, if we're going to pout, if we're going to get angry when things look rough, which I've done many, many times this season, when they play a brand of baseball that's fun, loose, ballpark's rocking, guys are stepping up from AAA and doing a great job. When that's happening, you got to enjoy that too. You can't just hate them 24/7 and then never enjoy the good baseball. You get mad at the bad baseball. You love the good baseball. I'm a very simple man. Some have a very difficult time doing that. They don't like to do that. They don't enjoy riding the ups and downs. I do. And I am a little confused on what this group is. Then you throw in all the injuries, and now it's really an unknown. But I think that's why it's easy to settle in right now and just embrace what they're doing as well, because there's so many variables here. There's so many things missing. I mean, they don't have Zach Wheeler, arguably the best pitcher in the National League, the best pitcher in all of baseball. But maybe you go Skeens, maybe you look at Detroit, obviously. But there are guys, or Zach Wheeler is in the mix with those type of guys. You're without him. Bryce is having a weird season. It's not a bad season, but it's by no means a special season. It's not bad, but it's not knock your socks off. Trey Turner is now hurt. You had no center field. Arguably the worst center field production in the history of the world. Nick Castellanos is now getting benched and only playing as a part-time guy. Brandon Marsh has been unreal good. Like unreal good. After getting sent down and playing AAA with Lehigh Valley because he was that bad. This season is bizarro. And now you're here. And it seems like they're just showing up, leaving it all out there, competing, undermanned to some degree. But I don't want to make that seem like you have a Ranger Suarez dominating like that. That's not being undermanned. That's Ranger. Ranger can do this, right? We haven't seen him do it with a lot of innings piled up. Now we are, for the first time, we do see it with a big workload already attached to his season, and that makes this even more beautiful. So when I say I don't want to make it seem like it's a big group of underdogs when you have Kyle Schwarber hitting 50 and you still have the threat of Bryce Harper, and there still are guys. Luzardo, Sanchez, and Ranger are three guys that every staff would love to have to run as one of the scariest guys in baseball, right? I mean, David Robertson has a career of good relief pitching. He allowed the homer today, but so far I've been pleasantly impressed with where he's at the state of his career with his age and all, and I still think that there's something left in that tank. I sort of want to make it seem like it's a bunch of stiffs that we should be proud of for just going out there and leaving it out there, but there is a sense of that. There is a sense of that. And again, I want to be very clear. It's probably wrong to feel that way. But they're so depleted that it kind of gives you that vibe. And maybe that's easier to sink your teeth into and easier to appreciate compared to a team that's fully healthy with one expectation, a lot of pressure, go win a championship. Anything less than that is a failure. And now you're so beaten up, just let's see what happens. Go fight, and we'll appreciate it if you leave your best on the field, and we'll see what the results are. And maybe that's totally wrong by me. Maybe I'm way off base. I don't know. Truly, I really don't know. But as I sit here right now, tonight, that's kind of how I feel ish. Ish. Please don't come for me. I think I'm a little on base, right? That another play on words. I'm on my A game, ladies and gentlemen, my A game. So, no way this backfire. It can backfire. It can backfire, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Back to the phones.
That was a great win. I am beyond words for how amazing that this team played today. First and foremost, Castellanos, Kemp, and Bader. How about Bader on his birthday, setting the tone with those base hits and then those 2 home runs by Kemp and Bader? That was great. Ranger Suarez, just lights out. We absolutely needed him to pitch like that tonight. And of course, the coup d'etat of this whole game, ice cold Kyle Schwarber to put the dagger in any hope for the Mets to come back in this game with his 50th home run of the year. It's a beautiful sight to see this team doing this stuff to the New York Mets. But yeah, go Phillies, and again, fuck the New York Mets.
That is absolutely correct. A lot of people are pointing out the difference from the New York Mets at home compared to the road. And some would say, don't most teams have a good home field advantage? Don't most teams play better in front of their home crowd compared to when they go into hostile environments? Yes, but there does seem to be something a little icky about the Mets. And knowing what transpired with Houston, I just can't rule anything out. I don't know. Now, their morale is toast. I don't think they smell like a team that is a threat. And again, that's why it made my toes curl when you lost to them. Well, Brodes, you're overreacting. No, the Mets suck, man. The Mets suck. They suck. No, I'm not overreacting. They suck. Look at them. Look into their eyes. They look like a bunch of you-know-what. Starts with a P. I can say whatever the hell I want on this program, too. But I'll sit that one out. But that's what they look like. You can't lose to this bunch. You bring them into this environment, away from Queens. Their home and road differences, it is interesting. And for the division talk, for me, it was never about the division. Of course, the season, the goal, the objective is to win the division. But relax. There's still X amount of games up. Or when you see that they were 7 and then they got swept and then it was 4 and then what the Mets did after that series in Queens, you got to relax because the Mets just fell apart. But that's my point. That's why it upsets me is the team the Mets were before and after and that's who they are. And you went into there and you got so tight and so awkward that it scared me that you may do that in high pressured situations. And I shouldn't harp on that right now, but I'm just trying to put it into the universe on why I felt the way that I did. But it never, well, bro, did you ever reacted? Because look, there's 7 games, now it's 8 games, now 9. Okay, I see the number 9. I see everything. I see it all. But losing the division, it's about stylistically. For me, and where the Phillies are now, based off of consuming the product for as long as we have, as we are nearly in the middle of September. I mean, that happened with the snap of the fingers. Boom. We're almost double-digit days into September. It's about style. It's about the look. It's about the smell. It's about the fear other teams have when seeing you. If you're even thinking about division race being lost, then we have bigger problems. Does this look like a team that's got, quote, it? And weirdly enough, don't know how long it's going to last, but currently, dating back to how things went since Milwaukee to where we are now, it's passing the test for me. It wasn't previously. It is now. We'll see how it goes from here. But it's always been about them. Never about the Mets, never about the Brewers, not about the Dodgers, not about any other team in the National League, even though I'm aware that that plays a role in the conversation. Who is the juggernaut? Who is the team that scares you? Who is this? Who is that? I know that there's not a team that is just light years away from every other roster, and that's who you should be scared of. It's not built that way this season, so that means the door is more open, which is true. But I can't worry about those teams. I got to worry about this team. And for a while, I wasn't seeing it. Now, I am. But the worry is, I am with a lot of utility and role players. Does that live forever? Do you get Trey back and then he's automatically kicking ass and Bryce comes alive at the right time and Kyle's bat is red hot in the playoffs and, Kepler and Nick and Marsh and Bader and the outfield collectively as a unit roll? We'll see. We'll see. But right now, I feel good about the way the teams play. I don't know how this shifted, where this shifted, when it happened, because now I feel I'm in a weird space. So let's just tie a bow on that. I don't know what that was. I don't know how we got to that portion of that was big picture stuff. I was living in the moment for a while there. I somehow got sidetracked into the big picture mix. Because it's funny, I was listening to the afternoon show today, and Spike talked about how this team could lose in an NLDS in 5 games and it not be considered a failure of a season, depending on how they go down. If they put up a resilient fight and it happens to be an NLDS loss, there could be pride taking out of that season. And I'm thinking to myself, Spike, I love you, dude. I do. I love Spike. What the hell is going through your mind? This is a team that right now, before a playoff run, there's one goal: World Series. And then whenever the playoffs end and you see how it ended, then we can recalibrate. Listen, they went up against the Dodgers. They played in an NLCS. It went 7 games. They were up 3-1. They lost a heartbreaker 4-3 in the 8th inning and blah, 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 blah. And they were right there. And, they were down 3-0. They forced a game 7. They were up 2-0 in game 7. They gave us everything. They were down Trey Turner and, they're down Zach Wheeler, and you had to pitch Walker, and Walker went 3 innings of 1-run ball, and you went to your bullpen, and they survived for a while, but just at the very end. You know what I'm saying? If we can recalibrate that. We'd be sad, upset, angry, all sorts of things, but could you take pride if they left everything out? Sure, but I can't be talking on September 9th about an NLDS. I was ready to bang my head again. So I was in the studio getting some work done, editing some stuff. I always love going on the station when I'm, getting stuff done on my computers and, I'm uploading stuff to YouTube, doing Bleacher Report stuff and whatever, just doing some of my my work here. And I'm just like, what? And Ike rightfully was like, dude. Jack rightfully was like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Again, I don't know how I just got to this. And another little side chat. I think that's why I went big picture, because I was listening to a lot of big picture talk today, and now I don't know. What do we got here from Rob Thompson? Let's see. Schwarber, tremendous. What a year. Really happy for him. Ranger, masterful. Pitches were good. Command was good. Controlling ball to the glove side. He was really, really good. Just a lot of deep counts. That's all. That was a little addition, was the deep count stuff. But of course, when you allow 1 hit in 6 innings, I'd say that's a pretty damn good day at the office. Beautiful. All right. Before I let you go, I love my friends at DraftKings. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Thursday night football, Washington, Green Bay. Take a look at some of the player props with Daniels, with Terry McLaurin, with maybe even Debo Samuel. There's some opportunities for you. And new customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BRODES. That's code BRODES to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. It's a limited time offer. All right, with that, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Couple more games left. Good day at the office for the fellas. Talk to you on the next one. Go Phillies.